Well, guys, good afternoon. We're ready for our second session, which is the adjective. In the previous session, we checked what the noun was, no, and we were talking about words that talk about persons, feelings, groups, etc. No, they can be something that we can touch or something that we imagine. Okay. In this case, we were talking about an adjective. An adjective, it's a word, but the difference is that this word is gonna give me the description of my noun. No, if my noun was a child, for example, we can say that this child is a very young child, or it's a very mischievous child, or probably it's a problematic child. Yes. So all the characteristics that I can assign to that noun are gonna be the adjectives. Here, the description or the definition says gives more information about a noun. It tells us what kind, how many, or which one. Okay, because we need to sometimes to choose, and the adjective is going to help us precise do that. So we have describing quality: a beautiful day, a horrible day, a rainy day, a sunny day, an old car, a new car, a very expensive one, a cheap one, etc. Quantity or number: I have an apple, and the apple is a noun. It was in your previous test, no? But if I have three, it's not the same as saying that I have two, because it's giving me a characteristic of those apples, as well as using some quantifiers, just as many and much. Describing size, color, and emotion: small house, big house, enormous house, huge house. No, a blue, red, all the colors. For example, all the colors had adjectives: a happy child, a sad child, uh, a terrible child. No, I know that it's not a very common adjective to use with, but well, we can also define it like that. In a sentence, well, this is a very basic example. We have the tall boy is my brother. Tall is the adjective describing boy. Now, something very interesting and important for us to know, it's precisely the development that we're going to have with the topic. The first thing, it's going to be the adjective position, okay? Adjectives have the position of them, it's going to be before the noun, okay? So I'm going to write it here. Adjectives go before the noun. And that's why you say a green car, an old house, a difficult exam. However, if we have the verb to be, the position is going to change. And I say, the car is green. Why do I change it? Because the verb, it's giving me the characteristic. In this case, the verb to be defines ser o estar, no? So it's talking to me about how that car is. So I say the car is green, the house is old, and my English exam is difficult. It's very important for you to analyze and to understand what the position of the words are, because according to the position the word has, it's going to be the function that it's going to develop in my sentence. Now, something else. For example, you say, okay, the car is green, but I have two green cars. So in Spanish, I say, los carros verdes, no? So in my sentence, I have my adjective in a plural form, and I have my noun in a plural form. We make the switch because of the position. I don't have a verb to be there. And I say, the green cars. Well, that's what the contrastive analysis says. That's what the logics mention. But in English, the adjectives are never pluralized. We never ever say greens. We will always use the singular form in the adjective, and the plural goes into the noun. That has to do with the position, and that's something very important for you to remember. Here we have a little infographic that I took from internet. I'm going to maximize it. And it's more or less what we have considered here in this chat. And it says, what is an adjective? An adjective is a describing word. Again, the description, it's giving characteristics. An adjective gives information about something. For example, blue, cold, and happy. An adjective generally describes a noun. A noun is a person, a thing, or a place, something that we have already checked. And here we have an example, the green monster. I have the noun and the adjective position goes before. But if I have the verb to be, it goes in the end, after the verb. And you say the monster is green, not the monster green. Which is like a very common mistake that we make whenever we work with these kind of words. Okay? Then we're going to have another one, which are the participial adjectives. regularly you say, teacher, es que acaba en ing, por lo tanto es una acción, es ando yendo, ¿no? And I say, yes and no. Not all the words that finish in ing are going to be adjectives. Incluso si no me lo crees, algunos ing van a ser sujetos. Por ejemplo, si yo te digo, smoking is bad for your health, smoking becomes the subject of my sentence. Therefore, consequently, it is a noun. So you can have words in ing as nouns, you can have words in ing as verbs, and you can have words in ing as adjectives. So it's important to check what the position of the word is. The participial adjectives have two endings. They can end in either ed or ing, and we work basically with a root. Root in Spanish is raíz, no? So my root can be, for example, interest, and I am going to have both adjectives. I can have interested, sorry, my handwriting, or interesting. There's a little difference. Interested, it's the way I feel, and interesting, what makes me feel. Very nice example, no? And you say, my platform is interesting. It catches my attention. I am interested in my platform. Okay? ED, the way I feel. While ing, what makes me feel. Okay? That's the main difference between ed and ing. So I can have a lot of roots. For example, because it can be surprising or surprised, no? Or I can have another root, for example, bore, like the example, no? Boring or bored. You say, I'm bored because my class is boring. The class is boring. What makes me feel? I'm bored. The way I feel. Or you can have surprising, amazing, no? Like Spider-Man. Spider-Man is amazing, and I am amazed because of him. All right. So your task is look for 5 more participial adjectives. Online, and share them with your classmates so that you can have like a bigger stock of words that you can work with. I hope there are no questions. I am going to add some exercises into the platform before you do your test so that everything is clear for everybody. This is the end of the second film. Thank you.